Hey everybody, so today I am going to go scrap the wire. I had that can and that can from that clean out with the computers, and this was all the other stuff I hoarded. I don't know, I'm hoping that even though the prices are down, I'm still hoping if I can average 50 cents a pound, I would be real excited. I used to get 70 cents a pound, but you never know. They could really decide they're not going to pay a lot. It all depends on when they look at it. They'll give you the price. It's kind of hard to get a price over the phone for this wire. Most yards consider it low-grade wire, but some yards will pay it as computer wire. It's, in my opinion, it's low-grade wire, but we'll see what I get paid today and see how it goes. I'm going to walk you guys all through it. Right now I'm going to go load the truck. I guess I'm going to back it up to the bus. Maybe I should move the bus. One of the two. I'll probably just back up the truck over there and get this done. My main motivation for selling the wire is I need room for my brass and copper hoard, and these are the crates I'm going to use for stacking it all. So that's the videos coming up. The weather is finally broke, so I want to try to clean up as much as I can before you got 2 months. I mean, the leaves are still green, nothing's changed yet, so as soon as it gets too cold, you're not going to want to come out and scrap. I don't have a heated area. So, all right, on to the scrapyard. Now, I still have a large pile of strippable wire, and I did pull out all the category 5 or cat 5 computer wire, just because I figured it pays to save a couple garbage cans of that, since I got paid so well for it in the past. So we'll see how we do. These old antennas are brass, these parts, the metal, so it's got like a nickel or chrome plate, but I'm hoping I got 1, 2, 3, 4, little 1, 5, 6 little buckets. I'm hoping for over $100. We'll see what happens. So I guess the way I got into scrap, at least my earliest memory of it, was I needed more money for my allowance because I wanted some type of Nintendo game or something like that. I'm pretty sure it was a Nintendo game back when NES came out. We'll look at that. Going to the scrapyard. Rotors. Oh, this guy replaces a lot of rotors. I would say I probably picked up I don't know, 8 or 10 of them in front of his house. So, so when I was about 8 or 10, my dad used to take me over to the scrapyard. He started with newspapers, like bring in his newspaper at the end of, a month, and I would get $1 for it at the scrapyard. I think it was, back then it was like 2-3 cents a pound. But we used to have these big little house parties, and the house parties always had a lot of beer cans. So I started saving beer cans, and then started walking around the block picking up all the cans. And I was first grade, second grade, and whenever I needed money, I'd bring my 2 garbage bags of cans to the scrapyard. And yeah, it was nurtured by my parents, or my father, but I remember that, and I remember my grandmother. I guess my grandfather, when he passed, he was a pseudo plumber, and he had tons and tons and tons of brass and copper fittings. So whenever she wanted to do something special, like she wanted the first VCR back in like 1980, 1979, somewhere in there, and she took a bunch of the brass and copper from her basement, brought it over to the scrapyard. That's how she bought what she wanted. But I just remember her showing me all the piles and saying, this was you know, this is in case you need money, blah blah blah, it's sitting right here. And I don't know, now I'm stuck hoarding wire. It's probably between my grandmother and my father's fault. I mean, I like the idea that it's good for the environment. I don't like the idea of sending wire to, I guess, India or China and just having them burn the casing off for the copper. These guys who I'm going to, they're responsible for all the scrap that they sell now. Like they sold some contaminated scrap to England back in the 80s, and are being I guess they're being fined for the contamination in England. So they're very anal about where the scrap goes to after it's dropped off, just because they don't want to pay a $20,000 fine 30 years later. And I don't know if you watch some of the videos on how they do e-waste in China, India, it's really disturbing. They basically turned like these port cities where a lot of the recyclable electronics go into hazardous waste dumps. It's really scary, but I mean, I think everybody should watch it. And that's why I'm gonna go scrap responsibly today. So, you know, find a reputable yard and do the right thing for the environment. So, all right, next spot. We're at the scrapyard. Look at that pusher that they fabricated to push the scrap up towards that blue crane on that front end loader. That's pretty fun, or pretty different. They still have a massive pile, but this thing, I don't know if you guys remember from early videos how big that was. So I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse, and we'll see how we do. Grab one of these carts that look promising. All right. So I was wrong. It's for loading a truck. To push the, well, I'm sure they use it for scrap too, but that's what they're using it to load the trucks to go overseas. It goes right in that container. All right, gotta go ask them what they're thinking. All right, so we'll get to see how many pounds we have. How many pounds is it?
It's 458 total.
Cart's either 168 or you have to reweigh it. Okay. Awesome. What's the price today on that?
Just dump it right in front of the wire. 50 cents.
Awesome. That's what I was hoping for. All right. Let's see what we get paid. I'm thinking that's 160 is the 160 is the cart, so we got like 300 pounds of wire. That's pretty good. So the moment of truth, feeling good about it. It was $117.20, so I got $118, and they paid me 50 cents a pound. So that's pretty good. Let's see, did they pay me 50 cents a pound? No, we got 40 cents a pound. Austin said we got 50. We'll have to ask him real fast. So I was a little bit annoyed. I went back in to yell at everybody because he quoted me 50 cents and they paid me 40 cents. So that's $30 on my 300 pounds of wire. But they didn't fix it. It doesn't always work out the best way, but I decided to go over to Salvation Army. At least I made what I wanted to. I made my $100, and I don't have that huge pile of stuff at my house. But maybe we'll find something. Most thing I've been looking for mostly is like pewter and I don't know, something interesting to sell. This one gets a lot of stuff from over by Princeton. Their toy department's always limited. Sometimes you can find something good though in these racks.
He doesn't go to court.
Excuse me.
Really? She doesn't go to court? Yes. I think it's boring.
My mother would like that red snowflake one. Look at that. And it was, let's see what, $6. Man, prices are going up. There was a time when I used to be able to get $5 a pound on silver plate, but that isn't anymore. Silver's down. Like I used to be able to send it to the smelter and get paid. First piece of pewter. Somebody ripped off the price. We'll see what she charges. All right. Let's see. Actually, let's check out the toys real fast. I don't think there's anything. Kid would like that. Yeah, they never have bags of toys here. It's always very limited. All right. So I did find a bunch of clothes. The best thing in this pile is this jacket, and it was all affordable. So we'll go over it in a second. Be interesting how much it is. It's only $8. It's World War II airborne jacket. Pretty neat. I think I only bought one thing to wear, but a lot of football stuff, so, and vintage at that. So to end the day on a high note, I spent 30-something bucks at I got 4 or 5 football jerseys, but this World War II jacket is really mint. No holes. It's got the airborne patch, and let's see, it says right here when it was made, May 12th, 1944. So that's pretty cool. Wonder if there's a guy's name. A lot of them are, it's a 34 regular. I'll have to check the pockets later. But man, so that was a score at a thrift store. You never find that, and when normally you do, they're like 20-30 bucks. So all right, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see everybody next video. Please subscribe if you haven't. Peace.